So I was on the lookout for a continuous green behind Simon because I needed some long shots, and my green screen itself, the green fabric, just wasn't big enough. And then I just had an epiphany and thought, well, the grass is green and there's lots of that. So I took Simon outside with a food bowl, see what would happen. Well, I knew what would happen with a food bowl. And so this is the filming on a natural green screen. And so Simon's on the grass, the natural green screen, just having a nice time. Hear me calling him. Lovely turn of his head then. I'm going to get rid of the grass with my eyedropper because it's mostly green. And you see it's disappeared. We have mostly black now, which is an invisible layer. Putting the snow in the background, and look, he's playing in the snow. He's even left footprints. So you'll recognise that. And the very introduction in the snow globe. Here's Simon, bowl of food in the distance. And because that bowl is white, luckily the snowy effect, which I'm about to show you in the background, it masked it out. He's a good boy. And here I am getting rid of the green with my eyedropper. And there we have Simon in the snow. And I laid on top the falling snow, another effect as well. As I say, you can't see his food bowl in the background. There he is. That's me calling chicken, always responds to chicken. He is a good boy. And so that's a basic lesson in green screening. So we'll carry on and to the introduction of Tinkerbell, who was on a green screen. Take that away and you'll just left with Tinkerbell. And there's Honeysuckle. I overlaid Tinkerbell over Honeysuckle, obviously. And then opening the book on the green, tricky because I had the tripod over my head and I had to climb through it because it was being filmed from above. And you can hear me scrabbling along on my tummy on the carpet. Captions superimposed on the book. And then Honeysuckle dreaming about Simon, that's the original footage. And Simon magically appears behind her, superimposed. There he is with his toys looking up, beautiful boy. This was fantastic because Simon looked up just as the sheet over the toys was taken away, so it's perfect. Underneath the Christmas tree. A bit of rearranging the green screen then. Dreamers. Now this is where Dolly seems to swipe Baby Black. She was actually trying to catch a dreamy. Isn't that funny? I shouldn't laugh really. And again, it was I just had to see what they would do, and they did that, and it was funny. He does look quite bewildered though. And Simon in the snow again, like we saw earlier. Simon. And so here you can see Simon, so good, just sitting there with his toys. It's as if he knows what's expected of him, or whether he's just waiting for a dreamy. But he's a very professional little actor, and I would definitely work with him again. Sammy. Sammy. Hear me clicking my fingers, get his attention. But I know, at the corner of my eye, something little and ginger. Yeah, he's seen it. He's sensed something. But, you know, he's still sitting there. So, wait for it, wait for it. Honeysuckle. Honeysuckle, don't wreck the set. Don't wreck the set. He's just going to have a little play on the mouse while she's hopefully not going to wreck the set. No, she's going to go to sleep instead. Right, I've bodily plonked her back. And she's getting bored, so she's just going to go off again. And then this happens. That's great, Honeysuckle. And then put that on that marvellous background, and it's all part of the storyboard. I'm concerned about all the gifts that Simon is trying to lavish her with, when all she wants is Simon, just as he is. And I think at one point Honeysuckle just got so bored with the whole idea that she would just sit there as if she was going to sleep. Well, there she is, she yawns. And then to get her attention to look up and look down, I was just waving my arms around in the semaphore fashion. And so speed that up, arms going up and down or left to right. You've got Honeysuckle, who is nodding or shaking her head and yawning. Simon. So this is what I mean by the semaphore arms, the flailing. Simon. That did it. So I've got their attention now. Good kids. Over there and over there. Let's go that way. Let's go that way. Synchronized. Let's go that way. Isn't that beautiful? Let's go that way. And it's up and it's down. Down, 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 down. Down, up. Good kids. That way. And that way. And Simon's getting wise to it now. I'm bored of this, he says. Bored now. Oh, this is good. This is good. See the patience that you need, but they were so biddable. Yeah, so that went in the can. And hats off to those film crews who will take weeks to assemble footage which just gets whittled down to about 10 minutes of what we finally get to see on our screens. And so the milk tray part of this film actually totals 13 seconds long, which is what I needed to fill at that particular time bar of the music. But it took me a whole day to assemble and try and match Simon's antics on the green screen to fit that of the man in the ad. Now, the original advert is 5 times as long, at least, but I had to chop it about a bit so I could only use certain parts that didn't show too much of Milk Tray Man, and also parts that I could match Simon footage with. And plus, the pace is really fast and furious anyway. You know, it races along. And yet you have to be painstaking in each movement as you work frame by frame really, really slowly. And it's really time consuming. And get it slightly wrong and the whole thing could just look contrived. But get it right and it will be funny and vaguely realistic too, in a surreal sort of way. So this 13-second piece took 9 hours to create. And I think my favourite part of this film was when Honeysuckle eats Tinkerbell, the stunt fairy. Look at Simon's face, disgusted. There's a lot of waiting about on the set, but these two waited very patiently most of the time. There's Simon in the back with his little gift box. I don't think it's full of dreams at this point. So we're gearing up for a really perfect shot. It's looking good. We can crop that bit on the right. So, yep, all ready to go. Yep, ready, Simon, places. Dolly, Dolly! And then you get somebody who walks in front of the camera. Dolly, you just walked in front of the camera. Thanks, doll. And then some cats just walk off the set in disgust. So here you can see treats being given as coercement, bribery. And then she walks off nearly, and then she gets bodily put back on. And she goes off again. And again, Simon is just waiting for her to get her act together. Then she's back. But she's going to go again. See, Honeysuckle? Plonk. Nope. Rearrange the set. Oh, and there is dreamers in there. But he's going to eat them up before Honeysuckle gets a chance. That's what happens if you walk off the set too early. Well, when you're green screening, it's ideal if you keep the backdrop without any creases in, because all the creases show up as a darker colour, and so that's not a perfect green. There's Simon being plonked back on, someone behind it, and I think that's a honeysuckle. So it's all smoothed out again.
Come here. Oh.
Come back, you. Good girl. Oh no, and now she's going to disappear completely out of shot, because obviously it'll be a headless shot. More bribery on set. All those lovely creases which are going to just wreck it. I do believe that's empty, Simon. There he goes. Lots of creases, lots of shadows being cast. Well, so just wreck the set.
Never work with children and animals. This is impossible. We're wrecking the set. But Dolly's gone behind the screen.
It was getting farcical at points.
I wish she play nicely.
And then Simon really pulls it apart. It was all looking good until Honeysuckle did that. And look at Simon, he's just patient, just waiting for her to get her act together. But he cannot resist that movement at the back. It was Honeysuckle's favourite hiding place round the back.
And bring the set down, why don't you?
A little tussle breaks out.
Honeysuckle, you're such a diva.
Combination of catnip and dreamers, I think. Now what's going to happen? Time is money, guys. Hurry up. Oh, there she is. Oh, yep. There goes the rest of it. You see, I think most of the time Simon was pretty high on catnip. I don't know why he couldn't have started his washing at another time.
Why couldn't you have done that with the screen behind you?
They did do some lovely things, but never when the green screen was back up. And then something alerted them to something. And Miss Dolly, a diva, high on catnip. So she thought she'd go and investigate the back. In a mood, catnip sends her into a bit of a frenzy. She needs to own the set, you see. Quite unconcerned. Oh, and that's Simon's tail. That's going to be useful for something, said no one ever. All three of them.
Oh.
You see, it was well nigh impossible a lot of the time.
Honey.
So we're trying to get Honey to do an action shot. All she has to do is run from right to left. Not interested. Action. No, I need you to stop. Action. Okay, guys, it's a wrap. Lunch break. Brilliant.
Hope you enjoyed that. See you soon. Bye. Thank you for watching. And bye-bye from Simon too.